Time for the Malloy Drive Show podcast. It's the year of the long weekend, people, and with over 160 locations across Australia and New Zealand, you'll be sure to find a Choice Hotel. Plan your next getaway at choicehotels.com for the lowest price guaranteed. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, Australia, you know him. You can count on him.
I'm a 50-50 chance.
You love him.
Hello. Go to the top shelf, ladies.
And now, it's his show.
Here we go, people.
This is Malloy.
G'day, Australia. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Malloy. Hello, Dave.
Happy hump day. How are you, Mickey?
I am watching the telly. Gold for
done.
Australia.
Just
in
happened.
Sailing. I can't believe it. It's one of our strongest disciplines. Wait till we introduce the Barbie boat.
Yeah.
We will knock
Gold
it out
medal.
of the park. Barbie boats, paddle boats, we'll win everything. Well done, boys. We'll see if we can get the audio for that. Speaking of, it's not all good news from the Olympics. There's been some disgraceful behaviour on a trip home.
Again, well done,
from
Australia.
Tokyo. Gold, they said, as they looked at a big pile of vomit. We'll get to the bottom of that.
Yes.
And ask, are they an inspiration for all Australians? The Song Whisperer, Dave, the Song Whisperer, is
I've
proving
been up
to be
all
a
night
sensation.
working on this
Have
song.
you got something?
Yeah, of
They're a bit
course I do.
cerebral for my liking.
Are
but
they?
Yeah. I
thought
didn't
they'd be-
realise you were such a wordsmith.
You thought they'd be a bit dumber, like myself? No.
Well, I had no idea. We'll get to that. Jim Jeffries. I love
Fantastic.
catching up with Jim
Me
Jeffries
too.
down the line from LA.
Always
Michelle Laurie's written a book. One of the great crime podcasts going around. She's
Yeah.
written a book, CSI Told You Lies.
Fantastic.
We'll ask about that, and I might make a couple of suggestions
Okay.
for future
Throw some
crime
ideas her way.
novels. See what she thinks.
Oh,
We're going to
awesome.
take your calls, take your tweets. Get right through it.
Let's
go,
get into it.
Dave. Let's get off
Thanks
to a flyer.
Choice Hotels. You can plan your next getaway at choicehotels.com for the lowest price guarantee.
This is Malloy.
And breaking
Yes.
Olympic news. Thank you for
You're welcome.
putting in the music.
Here it is.
That's great. I love it.
It is. Fanfare for the common
Is there any
man.
lyrics to this?
I don't think there is lyrics.
Yeah.
No.
It's going to make it my karaoke song.
You can do that. Ding, 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 ding. This
Mickey.
reminds me of World of Sport, growing up as a kid on a
that's what it
Sunday
was.
morning.
Montreal.
Yeah, that's
1976, by the way. You got it
76.
wrong yesterday.
Oh, you
there was
told me
lots
to
of
say
calls.
72.
You said 72 and they came for you.
I know they did.
Big Olympic news. Belcher and Ryan have just won gold in the men's 470 sailing.
Well
they had it in the
done.
bag, but
Yeah.
they had to actually run it out.
Yes.
Great stuff. Belcher, I
amazing.
think, now's won 3 medals over 3 different Olympics.
Congratulations.
Top shelf all the way.
15 gold for Australia now. Isn't that amazing?
Well, it is
15 gold.
amazing, and it's great news, and they're setting a fantastic example for the
Yeah.
kids.
Well done.
On the other hand,
What?
we have some Olympians who are. Or just before we get there, I think we can go now live
Oh, we've got
and have a
approval?
listen to the boys crossing
Thanks
the
to
line.
Channel 7.
Yeah.
Huge, big hug and smile for Belcher. It's a third Olympic medal, 2 golds and a silver to add to his 8 career world titles.
There
Amazing.
you go.
Well done, boys.
I've done some professional sailing.
Have you?
Well, I have. So my brother-in-law used to race Etchells.
What's
Big
that?
boat, like
Right.
big boats.
Okay.
Sometimes. And he used to ring me up occasionally. He'd go, hey, do you want to go sailing today?
Yeah.
And I would go, oh, okay.
What's this mean?
I get it.
What?
Well, they need a big fat guy to sit on the boat to keep it even.
Like to balance.
You're essentially human ballast.
Is that right?
So if it gets up to 30 knots or it's top, they just need
Someone just sit there.
a big fatty.
And what do you have to do? Just
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. I'll just sit there and drink beer.
Sail on great
I would
oceans.
stand up to take a wee. That would be it. And well, we had many wins. Oh,
Did ya?
don't you worry. I'd be on
Yeah.
the dais.
Well done.
So congratulations.
That's huge.
Not so congratulatory to our returning Olympians
Oh.
who have caused a bit of a stink on a plane from Tokyo.
Yeah.
I love this. So we
Yeah.
lionise them for 2 weeks.
We do.
Yeah, you're just
Heroes.
so great and you're heroes.
Yeah.
And then we go, well, okay, we're done with that. What have we got now? Oh, let's get them. So we can't wait. Now, there's been a bit of misbehaviour involving the Olyroos, that's the men's soccer team, and the rugby team. Now, guys, you weren't winning gold. Yes,
Okay.
you get to vomit on the plane. No gold. Sit there, be quiet,
Yeah,
eat your
right.
meal. So let's have a listen to a report on Channel 7. I think
Okay.
it was at Sunrise maybe, talking about
Yep.
the state they left the rooms in before they got on the plane.
As the green and gold exodus began overnight, a handful who'd partied hard at the Athletes' Village.
Yeah, there's a hole in the wall.
A wall, a door, someone threw up, the cleaners called in. The culprits, members of the rugby and rowing teams.
Some young people had made a mistake. They had left the rooms in a condition we thought was unacceptable.
The team boss putting it down to youthful exuberance and poor construction.
Some big people, and there are some very flimsy walls because they're temporary walls as well.
And temporary walls, that's going to do it.
The team captain they were interviewing sounded like he'd had a couple.
He was a bit hoarse, wasn't he?
Sounded a bit like, there was a bit going on. Someone got drunk. There's a hole in the wall. Big guys. Get stuffed.
What's
okay,
the hole
so
in the
now
wall?
we get on to the hole in the wall. They're flimsy. They're cardboard beds.
Right.
There'll be a hole in the bed.
So these are like temporary constructions put together just for the Olympics.
Well, and they had to get them out because they have to go home because new athletes are coming in. So they've left it in a bit of a mess. They're not going to get their bond back, Dave. They're not going to get their bond back. But also now the plane is an issue. Rugby Australia is investigating allegations of bad behaviour from the men's sevens team. A rowdy flight home. Could also land members of the Olyroos in hot water.
Olyroos?
Sources say a number of players were heavily intoxicated. The vomit was left in the bathroom on the plane following a long drinking session. I'll tell you how bad it was.
How bad was it?
Even Booney's disgusted. Even Booney's gone, no.
He got too far.
Well, that's a 10-hour flight. I wonder how many Booney could do.
So what did Booney do from Australia to London?
43.
Yeah, it was a case,
It was
wasn't
2
it?
an hour. He could almost do a slab.
Was
for
that
Japan.
an Ashes run? What was the...
I think he played the next day. It was bad behaviour, Carroll said. Drinking in the aisles, not following instructions. Athletes were saying they were drinking and that's why they weren't wearing their masks. Not good enough. Tough stuff it was. They said there was a few other sports involved.
Oh, is that right? So
Up
it
to
wasn't
9
just the
other
Olyroos?
sports involved. Who would it be?
Oh, you've got your rugby sevens, you've got your Olyroos. I don't know.
Badminton.
The badminton?
Badminton.
You reckon?
For the 48-year-old gymnast. Andrew Hoy.
Oh, hang on a minute.
He'd be a two-pot screamer.
He's 64.
Another Sherry to E64.
Should know better.
Water
Hoy.
polo, they'd still have their caps on. They'd be doing a nudie run.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be skateboarders, they're too young. They're not old enough.
Need some ID.
Players were understood to be loud and obnoxious. While sources say... now, look.
What?
13353. We've all done it. We're trying to, and by the way, can I just say, with that type of behaviour, and that throwing up, and that...
Hole in the ball.
Do you know what? Boys and girls all around Australia watching this will be inspired by you are role models. That's been the catchphrase.
It has been.
How do you go? I mean, you must feel great at boys.
Yeah.
And, well,
I
would have been inspired as a young boy. That's why I do what I do.
That's why you
I was
are now.
inspired by that kind of behaviour. 13353. Have you been on an end-of-season trip that you bent out of shape, got out of order, and we just don't want the really gruesome stuff.
Right.
Something with a
bit of fun.
A bit of fun, a bit of art to it.
Yeah.
Something that went wrong. I got
Light
sent
it up.
down on the end of a season footy trip to Phillip Island with one mate to set up the tents. So the next day when everyone else arrived, all our campsite would be done.
Right.
They found me and my mate asleep in a ditch and no tents, which had blown off overnight because they hadn't been erected.
Heading out towards Bass Strait somewhere.
Yeah, it was last scene. Heading out below the 42nd parallel. You get the idea. 13353. Get involved.
Driving you home, this is Malloy.
It is indeed. Michelle Laurie is going to join us in about 10-15 minutes. Then from LA in the second hour, it'll be Jim Jeffries on the show. Taking your call, so 13353, end of season trips.
Men's sevens, Olyroos have let themselves down, their country down. After being an inspiration to the boys and girls around the country for 2 weeks, we now can't wait to tear them down. That's what we do in this country.
Yeah.
We spend 2 years
Pump
going,
'em
you're
up.
so fantastic.
Heroes, all of
and
you.
now we'll pour over every detail to try and get
Pull them
these,
down again.
get these blokes
Back
and
to
sort them
reality.
out.
This is
Probably
how
a
we
bit of
are.
a horseplay.
Yeah.
Probably a bit of horseplay on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of hijinks.
Bit of fun and games.
Yeah, a bit of nervous energy release. And all of a
That's
sudden, national enemy number one. They've had a shocker, apparently, on a plane, 10 hours, drinking, bad behaviour, got us thinking, what's your end-of-season trip? We've all had one. We've all done it.
Blow
Whitney,
off some steam.
Whitney's joined us in the studio. I always
I
enjoy
don't
it.
want to be
Whitney.
in here
You don't want to be in
today.
here, but you're going to take your medicine.
What happened?
And by the way, the girls are... Give us a call, girls.
Oh,
I notice you've been very shy on the phone so far. But No Undies Mondays was a famous
I don't know about
netballer.
that one.
The No Undies Mondays, that's like a Mad Monday.
Yeah.
So, girls, we know what you get up to, and I've heard some stories. You were on a netball interseason trip.
Netball.
Yes.
What did you do, Whitney?
I mean, there's a few stories I can choose from. The first thing that came to my mind was we were going through a drive-through bottle-o
In a van?
Yeah.
in a van full of girls,
Yeah.
and I might have pashed
You
the guy
pashed the guy
behind
in
the
the bottle
counter.
You pashed a guy who worked in a bottle shop
Yeah.
Whitney.
on an
Early Christmas
in-season
present for
trip for
him.
netball. Give her a prize.
Oh,
Dave.
Casey Brick Lane draft on its way. You win.
See, that works for me.
Yeah.
You're having fun. No one's getting hurt.
Yeah.
You would have been dared, were you?
Yeah, I mean, I may have been, I may not have been.
You may have just taken matters into your own
Yeah,
hands.
I just have to stress, I was young and different back then. I'm a
It
professional.
was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
It was
It's
3
this year.
months ago. Well done.
Thank you.
You're the pride of Kyneton,
Not now.
and you've really kicked on. Dave, you would have been on an end-of-season
We did
trip.
a end-of-year season trip through work. So it was Triple M.
Oh, jeez.
This was a day on the green with cold chisel. I'm thinking 10 years ago, perhaps, and it was, we had a really good year. The ratings were great, so it was blowing off some steam, but it rained about 2 days constant.
It's like Woodstock. It's like your
Mate,
Woodstock.
it's exactly what it was. When we got there, it was just mud everywhere. Anyway, the company gave us all limousines there, and it was about an hour trip, and we were just doing mudslides through the mud. We would just
With your limousines. Are you panning your limousines in the car park at day on the green?
So we get into the limousines, we're just covered in mud. So we got a big bill and a very angry letter from the limousine company saying you're a bunch of idiots.
Well
Never
done.
again.
That's good for Triple M.
Thank you.
Who else was there?
Everyone was there.
Everyone
Fitzy
was-
was there. Oh,
What,
Fitzy.
Fitzpatrick?
Yeah,
What was Fitzy
How
doing?
was
That
he?
big
he
boss?
he was leading by example
What
that
was he?
night, doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
I've heard a couple of stories.
Have you?
Tell them off air.
All right, okay.
You don't want to get too hard on me.
Careful.
There could be a change at the top. Hey, Ty's on the line. Ty.
Hello, boys.
All right. What happened to you? End of season trip? Got too drunk? What happened?
Oh, it wasn't really an end of season trip. It was a seasonal
It's Christmas.
thing.
It sounds like the
It was
end.
Christmas. My boss took me to Carol's by Candlelight here in Hobart
Okay.
and rocked us into the VIP tent.
Oh,
And
look out.
I got a little bit bored, and it was an open bar. So after I stole my second bottle of wine and sculled that, they kicked me out.
Okay. I'm just going to say this. Just to paraphrase, you got kicked out of the VIP tent at Carol's by Candlelight.
Yeah.
Duke him, Dave.
Were they singing
Yeah.
this song at the time?
Give us another drink, you bastards. 1-333-53. You get the idea. Keep ringing. Get on the line, girls.
Ty, Case of Brick Lane coming your way too, available at Dan Murphy's.
For the drive home, this is Malloy.
We're talking about interseason trips because, there's been some disgraceful behaviour by Australian athletes returning from
Coming
Tokyo,
back.
apparently. This was inevitable. Someone, we've had our moments of glory. We've got to tear them down now.
Yeah, that's right.
They've had a shocker on a 10-hour flight. How much trouble can you get up to on a
Not much,
10-hour
I would have
flight?
thought.
It's all over pretty
you
quickly.
Pretty much cabin crew, armed doors and cross-check.
I'm a long-haul specialist.
Are you?
I have. Give me 24 hours and I'll show you some antics. Give me 24 hours and I'll be taken off the other end in a wheelchair by police.
There he is.
That's the way I roll.
Yeah.
That's how I clear customs a lot.
Do you? Bring him through.
One of the best ever was 1-333-53, end of season trips. What do you get up to? Footscray Football Club, classic.
Okay, what happened?
Back in the day, they got turfed off a plane between Bali and Melbourne.
Okay.
And one of their players, a player called Grunewagen, had a couple.
Yeah.
He got on the intercom. This is your Captain Grunewagen speaking. We're about to crash.
Oh,
Please.
my God.
Please
terrible
say
thing.
you'll...
Oh, and airlines see the funny side of that, wouldn't they?
well,
Jeez.
today, you'd probably get 20 years.
You
for
would.
that,
I know. You get a
reckon.
marshal to strap you to a seat.
But that goes down as one of the classics.
Oh.
Luke's on the line. Luke, footy trip, what happened to you?
Yeah, it was a Vermont footy trip, and we have dress up day one footy trip.
Yeah.
We're going to Adelaide.
Yep.
So I decided to dress as a female air hostess.
Good
So
on you.
Pong Air was my outfit.
Yep.
And so that provided great banter with the air hostesses throughout the plane,
On the
you know,
plane
having
trip,
beers.
you're a bit of a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. I was a hit. I was making jokes like, see at the Christmas party, stuff like that afterwards.
Yes.
And then it sort of came back to bite me because we landed in Adelaide and they told me they'd accidentally sent all of my other luggage to Sydney. So I was then stuck in Adelaide, which is a bit rough around the edges in pubs.
Luke.
until like 9 p.m. that night. All my mates have got changed, and I'm just trying not to get bashed.
Oh, you would have looked a bit
Amazing.
scrappy.
Yeah.
I got good legs though. So.
In your heels.
Hey, thank him, Dave.
Case of Brick Lane draft for you, Luke. Good story, buddy.
The luggage didn't arrive.
That's
Well,
funny.
it would have been funny till you landed, and then
that's
you
right.
go, oh,
hang on a minute.
man.
I'm stuck now.
And I'm sure your mates would have helped you out with some luggage. Well done, Luke. Tim's on the line. Tim, what happened to you, mate?
Yeah, g'day guys. A couple of years ago now, we're from Sydney, me and two mates.
Yep.
Went down to the State of Origin in Melbourne for my 30th.
Yeah.
No accommodation booked, no luggage. Whatever was on your back is what was on your back, and it was a bad sign when 7 a.m. Wednesday morning we're cracking a beer on peak hour train into the airport, and it was all summed up by a burst blood vessel in my eye when I was spewing in the airport toilet. I'm home on the red eye.
Home on the red eye, and you never checked into anywhere?
No.
So that is a good story, Tim. One of my favourites is Johnny Knoxville, and I know this to be true.
Right.
Because a limo driver in Sydney, I said, he's the best ever, because they know where all the bodies are buried. Limo drivers. I said, he's the best ever, best touring. Because Johnny Knoxville, mate, he goes, I picked him up on the airport on a Friday. I drove him straight to a party. From there, we went to another party. We went to parties. I drove him back to the airport on the Sunday night. He never checked in.
That's unreal.
That is 3 days on the tip. Hey, Duke, Tim.
Case of Brick Lane draft for you as well, Tim. Thanks, buddy.
That is the draft, as found at Dan Murphy's.
Yes.
That is a cracker. Going bonkers. New beer from Brick Lane this week. I'll talk to you about it later. Trevor's on the line. Trevor, what happened on your end-of-season trip?
We were on our way from Warrnambool to Adelaide, and we were using the bin in the bus for a toilet.
Yes, you do.
And we got to about Murray Bridge. Kangaroo jumps out in the middle of the road. Bus hits kangaroo. Bin goes over. Thing in the tail of the bus, of the bin going over there, there's one of the boys that drank a bottle of whiskey before Port Fairy, so he passed out in the stairwell.
Trevor. Hey, guys, making
rank.
the boys coming back from Tokyo look pretty good. Duke him, Dave.
Oh, Rogue-roo. You've got a Case of Brick Lane draft as well on its way there, Trev.
Brad is on the line. Jesus. Brad, what happened to you?
Mate, went for a bit of a bus trip up to Port Macquarie at the end of the year and got on the surfs all day. Had a bit of a blue with the halfback in the hotel room. He's picked up a curtain rod, thrown it straight out the window, hit a substation on the outside the window, blacked out the whole of Port Macquarie.
An idiot. That's really irresponsible.
Could they trace it back to you guys? What happened?
Mate, next morning, escorted out of town by the police, on the bus.
Wow.
Well, you wouldn't know. You knew it was morning because it had been dark until then. Well done, all. Duke him, Dave.
Case of Brick Lane draft on its way for you there as well.
We like it.
All right. Hey, Michelle Laurie, she's not far away. She's an author, don't you know? We're talking about a new book. Then Jim Jeffries from LA as well. This is Malloy on Triple M.
Get with the program, Toots. This is Malloy.
Right, now we're joined in studio by Michelle Laurie, author of a book called CSI Told You Lies, in stores right now. Penguin.com.au to find your local retailer.
You're fascinated with crime, Michelle. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Your podcast.
Australian True Crime.
Australian True Crime it is. Is that where you became fascinated with crime in the first place?
No, I always have been. I started, as a kid, I reckon I was 11, I was sneaking out books
Were
from
you
the
naughty
library.
as a child?
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Was I a criminal?
What was your
quite.
What was your first crime that you remember?
My first crime would have been stealing Madonna bangles from Kmart.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a good one. My one, I remember this was on the way to school in Canberra. Right. It was very cold. And so I'd go to the milk bar, and because I'd take my gloves off, and stick packets of Lifesavers down every fingers of the glove, and then go up to the counter and pay for like a packet of chewing gum or something.
And then just so nonchalant. Was that your act? Were you that guy who just walked real slow out the door?
My favourite moment ever was one day being taken to school in the back of a police car. And I was like,
what?
I was dropped off at school, and they thought they were teaching me a lesson, and I was like Bart Simpson.
Yes, the outlaw.
How good is that? So, congratulations on the podcast, which is so successful. How did you parlay it into this book here I have in my hand?
Do you know
CSI Told You Lies.
That was not my idea. It was Matthew Hardy's idea.
I love Matthew Hardy.
I know you do.
What an outstanding man.
Well, is he?
Well, yes, I'm sure he's been in the back of many police cars.
Yeah. Well,
I think
has
I've been in the same one as Matthew Hardy.
Yeah, but the thing is, what a sook.
Really?
Oh, beg your pardon.
Because...
Jeez, you're on the front foot today.
I am front-footing it because he has a podcast coming out tomorrow called Saturday Afternoon Fever.
Which, and by the way, I love that book.
I know you do.
I think it's the greatest
You've
book
spoken about
ever
that before, yeah,
written on
relax,
growing up and
it's not about
supporting
him.
it.
This isn't about him. What I'm saying
He
is...
started it, though.
Him and
You
Lawrence...
brought it up. I just went with it.
He and Lawrence Mooney have this podcast coming out because...
Mooney's involved?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Man, who's the sober influence
Who's
on that
the
couple?
nutty one?
Right. But, okay, they're both tough guys and I get that. But what I'm saying is sooks because why can't men handle true crime? Now, Hardy had the idea you should write a book about true crime. I said,
Yes,
great.
which you've done. CSI Told You Lies.
And he went and he actually got this deal going. He is the person who got me the book deal. Terrific. So then I started sending him chapters of the book. Oh, whinge.
Righto.
What do you mean?
Oh, I go, did you get it? Yes, thanks for ruining my life. Oh, he can't. He can't.
But it's too
cop it.
gruesome for him.
Yes,
Too grisly.
he can't handle it. So I had to
Surprised
make
he's not in it.
deals. He might be yet, but I had to make deals with the women at Penguin. We had to have secret
Meetings with him.
meetings,
Right.
and I'd
For a
send
sealed
them,
section that he couldn't read.
send them notes going, "This one's not for Hardy's eyes."
What have you learnt? Tell me what you've learnt. What have you learnt? You say you hung out with who?
Forensic pathologists.
Pathologists.
Yes.
Do you have a morbid fascination here? I read that you have a favourite pathologist. Is that right?
Oh, well, I don't play favourite, but I know who I want to do my autopsy is what I'm saying.
You've thought it through?
Linda.
Do you know how you...
Of course.
Obviously.
I asked her, would you do my autopsy? And she said, well, you can't really, it depends on who's on call. I said, no. Can I pay extra now to say that I want... And she said, well, what if I'm on holidays? I said, keep me in the fridge.
Do you think you could trick her? Do you think you could do one where you get poisoned by something really exotic and go, how long will it take her to find?
When's Linda on? When's Linda on? It's Thursday.
Watch this, I'll ruin her week.
Put her to the test.
Mine'll be pretty easy. Got drunk, fell off balcony.
Yes, I'm expecting the words misadventure on your in your inquest forms.
So what will we learn from this? So what did you learn by hanging out? That CSI's bullshit, basically, seems to be your premise.
Well, time of death, Mickey. Bullshit.
Oh, no
You
way.
can't work it out?
You can't.
Oh, why not?
Every show
That's
says...
a basic premise.
Right, but no, you can't do that.
Oh, that's interesting.
You can't
The
work out
maggots
how...
don't know. The lividity doesn't know.
God.
Nothing, unless you see someone die and you look at your watch,
Yes.
you don't know.
Unless you did it.
Unless you did
Did
it.
it?
And looked at your watch. You have to do it and look at your watch. Otherwise, and the problem is because now we all think we know everything about forensics. If we're on a jury and the expert says, I don't know, I didn't look at my watch. I wasn't there. We go, oh, this guy's hopeless.
That's right.
Have these shows taught people in any way how to commit a crime? Have they educated people to the art of DNA or biology or stashing a body or any of that stuff?
We think we know, but you read the news, people are idiots. They still Google stuff.
Because I got a couple of bodies under the floorboards that I really need to dispose of.
And I'm sure you Googled it.
I did. Hang about, Michelle Laurie.
Yes.
The book is CSI Told You So. We'll be back.
No, it isn't. But it isn't.
What do you mean?
It's
Told you lies.
CSI Told You Lies, mate.
Told you so. What did I say?
Christ, why
I've done my
can't they?
homework.
Yeah. All right.
Get the one pager.
CSI.
Get the one page. It's right in front of you.
I got the
There's
CSI right.
Whitney made you a one pager.
I flipped to the back. I could tell you how it ends, everybody.
And where's that bit in the
Not
toilet?
good.
Why is that wet? Look, that's wet, that
Because
book of yours.
This is what I read on the tour.
Okay.
That's
It has
disgusting.
got to be the best in the business.
More with
More with Michelle
Michelle
after
Laurie.
this.
A drive home that's always unpredictable. This is Malloy.
CSI Told You Lies. It's a new book by Michelle Laurie. It's in stores right now, and she joins us here on Malloy.
That's right. You've been curb crawling mausoleums, morgues. More
The
morgues.
mortuary, the mortuary.
How's it go? Talk us through hanging out at the morgue.
Yeah, what's that like?
You get your scrubs on. You get your rubber boots on.
Yeah, right.
You get amongst it.
Have you witnessed an autopsy?
No, not allowed yet.
Have you taken a body out of the drawer and walked it around weekend at Burton style? Are you allowed to do that?
Mick! No, it's a very professional atmosphere.
We wanted to film something in a morgue once.
I'm sure you did,
It was
yes.
when we were doing the Late Show and we're at ABC, and I'd ring up. So I wanted to do a sketch where in the background, we're sitting in a morgue, but in the background, B1 was standing there pulling out a drawer and B2 was on it, and he was nodding, like identifying the body. And I sent the script through to the ABC, who went back and goes, "Are you clearly friggin' mad?
You were just
never call us again."
behind your time, because there's a chapter in there about the old mortuary before this one, and loosey-goosey.
They still have the drawers in and out?
I don't know if they had it before that, but the old coppers who just retired, they talk about when they first got in the job.
A lot of ratting, is that what it's called? Was it ratting?
Ratting.
Well, you loot a corpse when basically they come in and you go, I'll go through your pockets. Well, there's 100.
Oh, right.
Well, there's a nice watch.
Yeah.
Who
told you that?
Oh, well,
Don't
geez,
tell us. Yeah, don't tell us.
Methinks she doth protest too much.
I've never ratted. I'll rat
I'm
you.
just saying it was a...
Mind you, I've seen you in a pub every now and then. I could have ratted you, and you wouldn't have the faintest
You'll
idea.
see me in a morgue drawer if you keep if you hang around them for much longer. You can open the door one day and go, "Whoa!"
There he is.
Have they ever seen? What happens if they identify someone they know?
Yeah.
That happens.
Does that happen?
Really?
Yeah, they
Shut up.
try. Hey, everyone will know you. Oh my God, I just realised.
When I go in,
Yes,
Oh, yeah. There he
hopefully
is.
it'll be disfigured faced.
Why is that hopeful?
No, but what happens when they recognise someone? What do?
They don't. Well, they go, "Oi, I know that one."
Oh.
I suppose. I'm making that up.
It's my twin brother.
I'm paraphrasing.
I'm going to sit this one out.
Do they put tags on their toes and a little bit of string tied around it?
No.
They call him John Doe. Okay, true or false that casinos have their own morgues because people? I've heard this. It's true or false? Casinos have their own morgues because so many people lose their livelihood. They do something silly.
I believe that's false.
False.
False. You look so disappointed.
True or false? A dog will eat your remains if it's in the house after you're died.
Oh.
This is a great one because I love that you are asking this because this is a lot. I've argued with so many people about this.
Yes.
I've always maintained your pet dog will not eat you. My dog, Jacko, would never eat me in a pink fit, but my cats, I think they're hovering on me now.
They don't even wait till you're dead.
I don't reckon they. And I've had it confirmed is what I'm saying. I'm not saying by
Cats,
any
yes.
of the professionals
will
at
do
this
it.
institution, cats will eat you, man.
Yes. Before you do it, do you have to hit a spoon on a tin?
Not even. Not even.
Kitty.
I'm telling you, they are sniffing your eyeballs now.
Hang on. Wow, that's something to consider next time you fall
Now.
asleep. Cat people. People who read this book. Well, so you hang out with pathologists. Can you give me some of the experiences they've been through?
These guys, we talk about some big cases from around Australia. We talk about MH17 and the Maslins helped me with that chapter. We have permission from all the families.
Yes.
And Rin and Maz helped me with that chapter, and they're beautiful, obviously,
Wow.
amazing people.
That's a huge story.
Yeah, it is. And they're amazing, huge spirits. And we talk about the tsunami, Boxing Day tsunami, and bushfire situations, and people who do the identification after that. And yeah, we talk about lots of big cases like that, lots of homicide detectives and how they intersect and work with these guys.
Hey, fascinating
Hooks,
insight.
David Hooks, I bet you'll be interested in that
I
one.
would like to know, well, is there a whatever?
There's a big
transpired
story there. There's a really important story because David Hooks wanted to donate his organs, but the detectives needed a proper autopsy because they wanted to pursue a manslaughter case. So how do you negotiate that? It's interesting.
Yeah.
This sounds like an eye-opener for the layperson to get involved. It's a page turner. Could be a stomach churner. See what I did there?
Yeah, especially if some idiot's dropped it in the dunny before you get it.
You can put, that's how I want to go. like Elvis, on the toot. Imagine that. Cause of death,
On the toot.
snapping one off.
Toot misadventure.
The book is called, what is it? I've tried this
CSI
twice. I
Told
get it
You
wrong
Lies.
every time. Michelle Laurie. And is it, are you doing any book tours or
You
signings?
can't, can you? We can't go anywhere. We're not allowed.
Is any COVID deaths? Have you seen any
Yeah.
COVID? Have you?
No.
You're not allowed to, are you? I keep thinking you're there.
Yeah.
I keep thinking you're scrubbed up.
I
Can you
wish.
get me in?
No.
Can you sneak me in?
No, they rang ahead. They said no, not yet. Not yet.
Are coroners upset that everyone's wearing masks now?
No.
They kind of feel.
No.
They kind of feel like that was their thing.
Nah, they're fine.
All right.
There's the book.
Okay.
Go and get it.
Seaside, Told You Lies.
And the podcast as well.
And
It's
the
going
podcast.
Australian
gangbusters.
True Crime,
Well
and
done.
tomorrow, Saturday Afternoon Fever is out and about
Oh,
tomorrow.
well
That's
done.
another great podcast.
Michelle Laurie.
Made by
Much.
some sooks,
Too
but
much to
listen
do.
to it
It's
anyway.
Malloy. Triple M.
For the drive home, this is Malloy.
Jim Jeffries to join us in a few minutes' time.
Yes.
You're listening to Malloy on Triple M.
Time
and,
for, come on, let's go.
Dave, the song whisperer.
Dave the Song Whisperer was trending on our podcast.
I saw
or
that.
Peaking or something. Did you
Yeah,
see that?
yeah, I did, yeah.
Because people,
'Cause
you
I'm
know,
an idiot.
it's the same reason people slow down at an accident.
That's right.
See it.
See, this is Jay's segment. I feel bad. And I
It's
know
not. You're doing a good job. Synopsis, please.
All right, here's the
You're up
synopsis.
all night on this one,
Been
really?
thinking all night about this song, so here it is. This song reminisces, remembers, indeed yearns for a time when stone fruit was stone fruit. Sorry, trying to keep a straight face. When dwellings comprised of neither a prime nor semi-prime number of rooms, and when the contractions of cardiac
Jesus.
muscles were elevated, Mickey. Easy.
Contraction. Just say it again.
All right.
And do it properly.
Oh, okay. This song reminisces, remembers, indeed yearns for a time when stone fruit was stone fruit, when dwellings comprised of neither a prime nor semi-prime number of rooms, and when the contractions of cardiac muscles were elevated.
If anyone gets this, you can come and live with Dave for a
Well,
moment.
if you get it
Is
right.
Is it reminiscing, Little Riverband?
Ooh, LRB.
You said reminiscing.
Yeah, I did say that word in
Well,
there,
why
but
would you throw it in
that's-
if it's not reminiscing?
Well, have a think about it. The song reminisces. Yearns for a
Stone
different time.
fruit.
Yeah, well, what could that be? What's a stone fruit, Mick? Might be in the title of the song, perhaps. Who knows? I can't say what it is.
Hey, I'm a
It's not.
prune.
No, it's not.
13353, get involved.
A drive home that's pretty loose. This is Malloy. Time to gather back around your wireless, people. Here comes the big second hour of Malloy.
It's going to be a beauty, people. Jim and Jeffrey's not far
Can't
away. Dave O'Neill is going to tell us where he's heading when the lockdown ends. We'll take your calls, we'll take your tweets, but let's get straight into Song Whisperer.
Yeah.
You're getting used to it. Dave, the Song Whisperer, synopsis, please.
This song reminisces, remembers, indeed yarns or yearns for a time when stone fruit was stone fruit, when dwellings comprised of neither a prime nor semi-prime number of rooms, and when the contractions of cardiac muscles were elevated.
Oops, me plums.
No, incorrect.
It's not even a song, Dave.
Oh, I beg your
Just said that out loud. Greg's on the line. Greg.
Hey, how we going,
Hi,
boys?
Greg.
G'day, Greg.
Anything from that load of hoo-ha?
Yes, actually.
What are you thinking?
I'm feeling really confident, which is probably twice in the whole history of listening to the song Whisperer.
Go for it.
The stone fruit was a bit of a giveaway for me.
Yeah.
So I thought of the President of the United States of America, the song called Peaches.
Peaches.
I see where you're going with that. The
Yeah.
whole stone fruit was stone fruit bit.
But he's fallen for it, has he, Dave?
Not right.
Not right, Dave.
Not right, Greg.
He's led you a merry dance, Greg. Hey, duke him, Dave.
Case of Brick Lane draft on its way for you, though.
The draft is the behemoth of
Yeah,
all beers.
available down
The big kahuna.
So good.
I love it. It's my favourite beer. Andy's on the line. Andy.
Hey, John.
What do you think the song is, mate?
I'm hoping it's going to be Crowded House, Mean to Me.
Okay, so you're saying Crowded House because of the whole
Prime
number
or semi-prime number of rooms.
Is that what you're saying?
Padded cell, you know.
Mean to Me, Padded Cell,
Black and
Crowded
white
House.
TV to keep
What?
us from getting lonely. Stop us from getting lonely.
And Dave?
Nah. What? Nah, it's not right, Andy.
Thanks, guys.
Just wait. Mate, don't hang up.
Andy, you get a case
Andy,
of Brick Lane.
Brick Lane coming, so...
Coming your way. It's not all
Go
bad
home
news.
empty-handed.
Gee,
All
They
right.
both thought they had you covered.
They did. Suck it.
Matt's on the line. Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, boys.
Yeah.
Is it John Mellencamp, Cherry Bomb?
Let's hope not. It's not my favourite song. Cherry as in stone fruit.
Yes.
Cherry. And what
What
about
else?
the house? What about the...
I just think when a sport was a sport, he's reminiscing through
Yeah.
the song.
Oh,
Well, he lived on the outskirts of town in an 8-room farmhouse.
what? That's
Oh,
not
hang
the
on a
pride
minute.
or sunshine. Hey, oh my God.
Love your work, Dave.
You got it.
Danes, you did not work that out.
You got it. I was
Danes,
up
you,
all
you wouldn't
night
know
thinking
the
about
prime
it.
number.
Of course I do.
The only prime number you know is 69.
How dare you? Kings of Leon tickets
What?
for you, Matt. You got those tickets. Well done, buddy. Jim
Well done.
Jeffries next. Malloy, Triple M.
This is Malloy.
It's time to check in with the great Jim Jeffries from Los Angeles, California, right now on Malloy.
Hello, Jim. How goes?
Hello to the great basketballing nation of Australia.
That's right.
We got you.
I stayed up till 5 a.m. over here to watch that bloody game, and you watch that basketball in Australia versus Argentina, and you go, I think the Argentinians have one good bloke. We better watch out for him. He's probably terrible. The next big game's against America. I'm very excited about it.
Well, who are you barracking for there? Because I think you're a US citizen now.
Yeah,
aren't you?
that's right. Who do you go for?
No. It never gets beaten out of you. I go for Australia. And I want America to not only not win, I want them to lose. I don't know why. It's like, and I'm an American, but it's that weird thing because of your childhood where you're like, we're going to get them. And I'm walking around town telling everyone, I'm going, do you know that we're leading the medal counts per capita?
Yeah.
Per capita. I go, you Americans would need 300 more medals to be equal to Australia.
Cop that, you idiots. Now, my favourite basketball team happens to be the Spanish basketball team, but from the Paralympics. Do you remember they were the basketball team who fielded able-bodied athletes as handicapped people? They actually bunged on a handicap to qualify, and they were all proper able-bodied. It's the greatest Olympic sporting cheat in history. I always go, how badly do you want to win the Paralympic gold medal to actually field able-bodied athletes? You know.
Terrible.
But also, when you win the medal, when you actually have one, and you've got your friends and your family around you, and you go, we did it. We pulled it off. I'm so proud of this medal. They really believed it.
That's right. It's like watching the Harlem Globetrotters play the Washington Generals. It's too one-sided. Hey, now you would have heard, of course, about the Australians are in trouble now. So for 2 weeks it's been, do you realise how many boys and girls you've inspired watching the athletics? Now we've got them pissed on a plane on the way home and they're copping it.
Oh, really?
So the rugby team, who, by the way, didn't win anything.
Right.
So, be careful who you vomit on. The rugby players and the Olyroos, I think, they're on the plane. But it got me thinking, have you ever been on a boozy end-of-season trip, or have you...
I went on a boozy about 10-year tour where I was just going around from comedy club to comedy club. I empathise with what... So they were drinking every day, were they? Oh, okay. I get it.
I remember turning up once in Adelaide to a show, and I was still that drunk when I got there. I said, "Oh Jesus, what? We've got a show on before us tonight," and it wasn't. It was our show, which had started early because it was a Sunday. It was already in progress. So there's a shower backstage for Mickey, and get him out there. Quick sticks. What do you now? This is the talking point for me from the Olympics, mate. Can you win 2 gold medals for different countries in the same event? This is we all talk about the spirit of the Olympics.
This is the high jump.
The high jump, mate. The guys have brokered a deal. They've broken a deal between nations
Different
to go.
countries,
It was it's like the old Kirribilli agreement, or the Don Lane Bert Newton 6 months in my house, 6 months in yours. That would be better. But they both cut themselves a gold medal. Where do you sit on that?
I think if I was in the team, I'd do that at the very beginning of the competition. I'd split it 10 ways. I just go, we all should get gold. If we could everyone just trip over the bar. Trip it over it.
No one jumps today.
Yeah.
There'll be no one jumping. I could be a gold medalist.
You can jump, but you can't do the Fosby flop. That one's out the door. You have to jump it just the regular way where you leap up with your legs.
It's a forward roll, basically.
That was the thing. I was thinking about freestyle swimming. Okay, so in Australia, we call it freestyle, right? And in Britain, they call it a forward crawl. You ever heard someone call it a forward crawl?
I know we've called it Australian crawl. It's been called the Australian crawl freestyle and the forward crawl.
Even the crawl, right?
Yeah.
But, okay, so it turns out that freestyle, I always thought was the name of the thing. Freestyle's just an event where you can swim in any stroke you want.
Oh,
and
is that
everyone
right?
swims. Yeah, and everyone swims in the crawl because the crawl's the fastest.
Is the fastest.
Oh, right.
So you can do what you want.
Yeah, you can do what you want. All we need to do is invent our own Fosby flop. If we can come up with a faster stroke, with like Ben Lexus with the bloody yachts
with the
that
wing
time.
keel.
He made the We just got to figure out a better stroke, and then we'll take them all. We will.
I like it. You know what I would do? I would swim as the man from Atlantis. It's kind of like Butterfly, but with no arms. You just got to do it. Or my own patented stroke, which is I call the white dolphin, which is you dive in, and then while you're underground, you remove your bathers, and then all you do is break the surface with your bottom occasionally. It's like the white dolphin, or Migaloo in my case.
Has anyone checked that we can't have kickboards? Like, is that in the rules?
Flippers.
Yeah. Like, if one person just rocks in with flippers and a kickboard and just goes, new outfit, do they go, all right, then have a go?
I would like to demand that they have to swim in an Olympic pool in the same way we have to, under the same conditions.
Oh, yeah.
Which would be, like a creepy crawly on the bottom, a guy fishing leaves out of lane 8, coins on the bottom, your locker key attached to you.
On a pin, yep.
Oh, it's all good. Hey, can you hang about, Jim?
Yeah, of course I can.
All right,
Great,
Jim
mate.
Jeffries with us. It's Malloy on Triple M.
For the drive home, this is Malloy.
We are joined by the great Jim Jeffries from LA right now.
Jim, Rolling Stone, which is the Bible when it comes to music, released a list of the all-time greatest music videos this week.
Yeah.
At the top was
Beyonce.
Formation, which I don't have a strong memory of.
I don't know much about it.
I don't know much about it. Michael Jackson snuck in at 10
Billie
with Billie
Jean, not
Jean. We
Thriller.
would have thought there might be some more. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Thriller's better than Billie
Thriller's
Jean.
it is.
Billie Jean's a crap film clip with her dancing over the bloody footpath. Anyone could have done that.
No,
I could do a show on stage where I do it over the bloody tiles. That's a stupid one.
Idiots.
They're
Have you
idiots.
got one? I used to like Devo film clips for mine. They always did it for me.
So you're going too artsy. You're going on what looks good. I go on the experience.
Here we go.
And that's... and I don't even like the song. I just like the film clip.
What is it?
It's Stacey's mum.
Fountains
She's got
of
it
Wayne.
going on. That Kiwi model dances on the bloody table all the time. Bloody good.
You're the first person, and we've been canvassing this widely this week, who has bowled in Stacey's mum.
Not many calls for that, to be honest.
As
I
the
tell you what,
greatest
look,
film clip of all time.
it's not a bloody popular answer. It's the right answer. I'll tell you this. There's this other film clip that I like. And it's my favourite song is porno music. That's the best film clip you can have. Turn one on and the waka waka waka.
Okay.
That's your best video clip you
Did you
got.
find Seinfeld? I found Seinfeld a bit porno.
What, the music?
Yeah, if you put the Seinfeld theme under a good porno, it's kind of. Oh, yeah. Don't you reckon? Oh, yeah. Come on, baby.
Oh.
You know you want it. You know you want it. So that's your favourite music clip, because we got, being the Triple M audience, we got a fair bit of it's Van Halen. A lot of
Hot for
stripper songs,
Teacher,
basically.
Cherry
Hot for
Pie,
Teacher.
Warrant.
Cherry Pie. There was kind of a genre
Def Leppard.
clicking away.
Cherry Pie's very similar vein to Stacey's mum. I can see the joy in that film clip as well.
So Stacey's mum, explain it to me. It's a
Rachel Hunter, the kid comes over. The daughter thinks, he's into me, but he's not into her. He's into Rachel Hunter, right? And then she comes out and she's like wearing sensible clothes, but then he imagines it and then she's stripping around a pole. Fantastic video clip.
You've piqued my interest.
It's a bloody good one.
That's right up there with Formation. As far as I am concerned.
Oh, fine. If you don't like my pick, bloody, I don't know. Crowded House, always take the weather with you. I can't even remember it.
Now you're just plucking him out at random. Split Ends, I See Red was a good film clip. That was just a guy in a bathroom brushing his teeth. Do you remember?
I do.
Has anyone seen Wonderwall? It's just Liam sitting in a chair. Fantastic bloody film clip.
I'm looking at the video now. Yeah, that's... Oh, wow.
Didn't take you long to find it, did
No,
it, Dave?
it's,
Can you put the Seinfeld music back under that as we go out to the break? We'll be back with a bit more Jim Jeffries after this. Oh, yeah. I'll put it away, Jim. Jim, no.
This is Malloy. It's Triple M.
Driving you home, this is Malloy.
We are joined by Jim Jeffries. I don't know about that. That's the podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from. Talking about galaxies.
Oh, you would have tuned into this because you're a giant space nerd. You and James are both space nerds. And you went all out on the Galaxy edition, Jim. And did you learn a lot about the galaxy? Are you intrigued by
a lot of it that I've since forgotten, but I learnt it in the moment. If you ask me about it now, I won't remember. But I know.
Well, I want to ask you about your suggestion for what spaghettification may be. Have you got the clip?
Yeah, take a listen.
What is spaghettification? Jim said when the Italians moved out of the galaxy and ruined the...
Moved into the neighborhood and we spaghettified the whole place. Hey, get rid of your cupcake stores. We're moving in pasta stores here. Meatballs, they're not meatballs. Is that what it is?
Are you Dr. Delhaize?
No. Spaghettification is the theory, the idea of what happens if you were getting close to a black hole and you were falling in feet first. The difference in the gravity between your feet and your head would be so vast that you would actually get stretched out like a long, thin strand of spaghetti. So that's why it's called spaghettification.
And because you didn't see nothing, you're not going to say nothing.
Now that's unreal. That is very interesting. I had no idea about spaghettification, either theory, black hole theory, or yours, which is Italians move into the neighborhood.
It is funny that Italian Americans seem to be the last group you could really take the piss out of. I got to say, I've been so mean to them on these specials and all that type of stuff. They've never come for me.
They love it.
And they say they have the mafia. They haven't done anything.
So did you learn a lot about the galaxy? Are you intrigued? Do you stand out at night and look at the stars and wonder?
Oh, I don't really care, really. Everyone's always like, there's probably life. Maybe, maybe not. There probably is. We'll never see it. We're very insignificant. That's all I think.
We are.
Whenever I do something shitty in my life, I always think that, well, it's a big galaxy. Is this the worst thing?
I do too. I look at the vastness of time and go, my behaviour last night won't even come up in the grander scheme of things. In 30 billion years from now, the higher art form will go, he had a good time. He had a shocker, but he didn't hurt anyone.
That's it.
You know what I mean? It does help occasionally. Do you know this? I got a star named after me. The team here, it was my birthday. You can get this done. It's unbelievable.
All right.
You go, look, it's the Star Name Company.
Yep.
Yeah.
See this?
How did they get the rights of the star? Can anyone be?
Well,
can anyone be the star naming company? Are there 20 other bloody star naming companies?
That's a good point.
Did you do this down at the pier with another bloke who's doing caricatures? How did you get this?
Hey, mate, I'll give you the exact coordinates of my star, and if I see you nosing around or going anywhere near the thing, I will sue you.
I can give you the exact coordinates of New Zealand. Doesn't mean I bloody own the place.
Mate, I am telling you right now, you've been warned. That's an official warning.
All right.
My star, right ascension 9H3M at 25.41, declination 24 degree, 42 inch, 49.43 from the Romanian judge. Magnitude 9.1767000, named Mystique. If I see you anywhere near it, I guarantee you will be in violation.
Wait a minute. I thought it was named after you. When did you become Mystique? Is that like your drag name or something, Mystique?
No, it references the island of Mystique, which I can't talk about. Stuff went on there that just can't be talked about. In fact, that was one of those incidences where I go, gee, in the history of time, maybe people will forget about my behaviour. It's called Mystique. It's named after the island, and I own it.
All right.
Okay, Jim? So, do you want me to get you a star?
No.
This time next week, I'll get you a star.
I just want to buy your star and be a bastard about it.
I can see trouble brewing here. I can see a court case involving...
Get me a recording of those coordinations. Let's see who gets whose star.
You're going to be there for the first time with a big telescope tonight, trying to case out my planet. I'm on to you, Jeffrey. I'm on to you. Hey, how'd you go? Are you back doing live gigs just before we go?
I just went and did Vegas.
Oh,
Vegas is always...
Jeez, you sat on that.
That's always the way to do it. You go in there. It's like the canary in the mine, you know what I mean? The people in Vegas, they don't give a... They're all just smoking and walking around. The Delta variant's going through the roof. You're meant to wear a mask or those stuff. They don't care. There's just people. They still have cigar lounges in Vegas. All right, just to put this in context, you have to wear a mask unless you're smoking your cigar in the cigar lounge. Then you can lower it for a moment. You'll never get COVID in there.
The Delta variant in Vegas, I think, is named after a stripper whose dancing name is Delta. Hey!
There she is.
Good to know you're back on stage. Stay out of my galaxy. Always a pleasure to catch up, mate.
All right, you too, mate. Talk to you next time.
Jim Jeffries.
Get with the program, Toots. This is Malloy.
Thanks to Choice Hotels, you can plan your next getaway at choicehotels.com for the lowest price, guaranteed.
Guaranteed, and I will be doing it with Choice Hotels, the best in the business, a different range of opportunities. They've got the Ascend Hotel Collection, Clarion Hotels, Quality Hotels, Comfort Hotels, and an Econo Lodge in Portland. I can't wait to stay there. These guys are great, and they're positioned beautifully around the country and New Zealand, over 180.
Amazing.
And what I love is they're always in the best bits.
Well, that's right, because they're
wherever you want to
independently
stay.
owned and operated. So the owners want to live in a good spot, so that's why you get
You
a
can't
great
travel
spot.
overseas, so why not have a great long weekend in a regional location somewhere in Australia? Today, we're having a look at Mount Gambier, the Gamb, as I call it, and I'll tell you who's been giving it a real captain's cook.
Righto.
Here's our mate Dave O'Neill.
Oh,
He's
Dave.
been in lockdown going, where, when I get out of here, do I want to go? And you got your sights on the Gamb now, Mount Gambier.
We used to holiday at Mount Gambier. I did ask my parents the other day why. And Dad just said, because it's Mount Gambier.
I reckon I know why. Because there's a steakhouse there called The Barn.
Oh.
Have you,
The Barn.
Have you been to The Barn?
Yes, I have.
I know local residents at Mount Gambier, and the first time they took me to The Barn, I lost my mind.
Oh, righto.
It is the greatest steakhouse in the Southern Hemisphere,
Okay.
bar none.
Jeez.
What else can you do at Mount Gambier?
Well, it's a you can go on a sinkhole crawl.
Okay.
I don't know if you know.
No.
There's lots of sinkholes.
Is it the sinkhole capital?
Yes, the sinkhole. You can go to the Umpherston sinkhole or the Kilsby sinkhole. So I'm gonna get my diving gear on and do a sinkhole crawl. That's my.
These are great dive sites. These are world-renowned dive sites, the best sinkholes in the world. It is. And because it's the home of the Great Lakes too. Like,
the Blue Lake.
The Blue Lake.
That's legendary.
When we were kids, Dad said it was bottomless. I remember it's meant to be a bottomless lake in a volcano. It's amazing. It's in a volcano.
Well, it could be, mate. Have you been to the bottom? I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
I can do some free
Float.
diving. I do some free diving, but that's usually in a pool bar. The Blue Lake is one of the Great Lakes. When they do a list of the Great Lakes around the world, the Blue Lake is world class. Make no mistake. It's picturesque. It's gorgeous. You said it's on a volcano. There's so much to do. And you know what? You can get outdoors up there.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You can probably get out
Wander
and run around to your heart's content. Kids will go bonkers. In the modern world, it's a rare opportunity to get out at one with nature and take advantage. Where would you stay, Dave?
I'd stay at the Choice Comfort in the Lakes, which is right on the edge of the lakes.
Oh, bang. In prime posse, in the rockstar position.
Front row seats.
Overlooking.
I'm going to get my scuba gear on and walk from the Choice Hotel to the lake.
Do not do that.
Put your
I've
wedding
seen
on.
you in your scuba gear. you wee before you go in, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't you? You do. Yeah, we always did do that. You used to go, do I, don't I? I'm going to.
Righto.
You get it done, have a wee, jump in.
What, in the Blue Lake?
Well, before you get in the Blue Lake.
Well, you make it green, wouldn't you?
I'll be like that bloke in Eildon, remember, who dressed up as a fish. Remember that bloke who...
I do. He didn't come to a good end. There'll be none of that at the Blue Lake. Let me tell you.
amazing.
You wouldn't sully. This is one of the great...
Looks amazing.
The stuff you can do on that
There's a
lake.
New Orleans-style jazz bar
Shut up,
in
Dave.
Mount Gambier.
Are you serious?
Yep. New Orleans comes to Gambier. That's amazing.
Well, you can do it all, one and all. I'm going to see you there. Dave, have you got your heart set on this?
Oh, I absolutely love it. And you can have a New Orleans funeral. When my scuba gear goes wrong, I'll have
They are the best funerals going around.
They do. They have fun.
It feels like they're happy you're gone.
Isn't
Really?
it?
Hey, if I die, I hope it's in Mount Gambier next to the Blue Lake. Push me out in a funeral pyre like a Viking. Set fire to it as I enjoy the last look at the greatest lake in the world. Well done, Dave.
And shout out to Triple M 963 AM, Ewan Grant for breakfast in Mount Gambier as well on the Limestone Coast. So great work. And for Choice Hotels, you can plan your next getaway at choicehotels.com for the lowest price guaranteed. Good on you, Dave.
The lake won't be blue if you get burnt in it, Mick, if you do your funeral.
The Choice Comfort Inn, the Lakes, is where I'll be staying, Dave.
All right.
Called the Brown Lake after you.
Enough.
It's Malloy on Triple M.
A drive home that's always unpredictable. This is Malloy.
This is Malloy. Well, was Malloy. Oh, got about a minute left, and then we're done for the day.
Well, you were saying it was Malloy. You know something I don't?
No, I'm saying, look, that was the show. This is the last little bit of it. But by the way, if you missed any of it, you can always get the podcast, download that.
What happens on the podcast?
You should tune in one day. I am going to set up a podcast thing on your phone so you can, on your way home with Raj.
You listen to it on your phone?
Well, yeah.
How long's this been going on?
Well, how else are you going to listen to it?
I thought you'd have to get a podcast.
What do you mean, like
I
a
don't know.
podcast machine to listen to podcasts?
Yeah, it'd be like an iPod.
Yeah, well, you can listen to podcasts on iPods.
Can you?
But funny enough, your phone is almost...
Can you listen to it on a Walkman?
No, Walkman were cassettes, weren't they? So unless you tape it on cassette...
I'm sure there's a modern Walkman.
That has... Well, that's what an iPod is really, isn't it, when you think about it?
Okay, take that tone out of your voice.
I'm just trying to explain to you. You would love podcasts,
Everyone on the other
mate.
side of the glass is laughing at me. Right
Podcasts are there's something for everybody in there. There'd be something for you tailored exactly for your tastes.
Have they got an X-rated podcast?
There would be. There'd be porn stars out there that do podcasts, no doubt. If you're into music, if you like, I don't know, middle-of-the-road artists like Billy Joel, I'm sure there's a podcast. Oh, there was a podcast.
Tell us about your podcast, Dave. What happened?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I went ahead and did it. It was last lockdown. It was the big lockdown for Melbourne, so I had a bit of time on my hands, and it was the 40th anniversary of Billy Joel's Glass Houses. I thought, I love that record. 40 years. This is a great anniversary. I'll put together a little special for it, put it on a podcast. But apparently, according to Mike Fitzpatrick, head of content at Triple M, you can't put any music inside podcasts.
According to Sony, too, who own the rights to all the music.
That was the
and
big
you had
direction.
no licence to play.
No.
So you nearly sunk the entire company.
Well,
and it had to be pulled down.
Well,
didn't your podcast, I think it's the shortest ever podcast, to last 12 minutes or something like that?
It was out for 12 hours, I think, and then it was pulled. But it was really good. I mean, there's probably some bootleg copies out there. So
you know who it's pulled by? Music lovers.
Oh, come on. I heard Billy Joel. I heard a clip of Billy Joel today that someone sent me. That back in the '80s during the Russian tour.
Oh, I think that's all we got time for today. No. What's your story?
No, he was. He cracked them. He's cracked the poos on stage. Billy. I'll see if I can find it for tomorrow's show. The lighting. So he's halfway singing a song. He's going, "Turn down the lighting." And then he keeps singing, and he's full on, which is very
Turn
un-Billy.
down the lighting's a good call from him. He's not the prettiest looking guy. I turned the lighting right down. Silhouette. Did he? Have you got that?
I will find it for tomorrow because he's lost it on stage, and I liked it. It was pretty funny.
All right, what's happening tomorrow?
So tomorrow on the show, Titus O'Reilly will be on the show.
They'll have some good Olympic stuff for us.
Yeah.
It's almost over.
It is tonight, by the way, the 800 final with Aussie Peter Bowl.
Yeah.
Just after 10, the first Aussie since 1968 in the 800 final. That'll be unreal.
Finish up.
Are we done now? Yeah, okay, that's it's over a minute. Back tomorrow to drive you home again with Malloy.
Now you're all caught up on the Malloy Drive Show. Why not plan your next getaway with Choice Hotels? With hotels in every state and territory, wherever you're headed, Choice Hotels are there. Visit choicehotels.com for the lowest price guaranteed. Terms and conditions apply.